All right, guys, got another project. After doing a little walk around, drop a comment below how much I paid for it. This is a, I haven't measured it yet. I think we said it was 20 by 6.5, 3-axle. I think they're 6,500 pound axles. They're definitely more than 35 because it's 6 lug. There's a couple different sizes, but it's got nice ramps on the back that swivel for whatever you're pulling on, like a lawnmower or whatever. The worst thing about it probably be the wood, and 2 of the tires are blown apart. That's no big deal because I have 4 wheels. Those are exact wheels right there with 4 brand spanking new tires on it that were off my work truck when I got it, before I threw some decent wheels on it. And my favorite thing is the perfect size I need. Another positive about it is a professional welder, one of my neighbors, built this trailer, and he did 3 axles because he didn't want too much tongue weight, because it being so long, he didn't want too much tongue weight on the on his truck, or too much negative weight. Because if you look at the axles, if you pretend this one wasn't here, and you see all the gap up forward, once you had a vehicle up there, it would be very tongue heavy. So if you was to remove the one in the back, then if you had a vehicle in the back, you'd have negative weight and you could be losing traction. So it's kind of, he just wanted 3 axles to be safe. And he said that he put 2, maybe 3 cars, he said, stacked on top of each other on top of this trailer. And he said it was no tongue weight on the vehicle hardly, you know, just like typical, couple hundred pounds. And he also said he put utility buildings on this trailer that were longer and wider than the trailer, so they would use 4x4s to block up next to the tires. And that's my thing, is this trailer could be a little bit wider. I wouldn't mind that, but when I pull my wide trucks up on here, I can drive over the tires, boop, 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 and then when I get past them, I can straddle them. You'll probably see that before this video's over. All right, guys, the tape don't lie. It is 6 between the tires, or the deck set is 6 foot wide by 20 foot 2 inches long on the deck. So pretty much all I got to do is get some lights. I bought a kit last night. I think it was like 40 or 50 bucks with the wiring harness. Just slap them on the holes, drill some new holes and plates if needed. And then lumber, it takes 9 2x8 by 20s treated. And in my local hardware store, I think they're between $15 and $20 each. So it's about, we'll just say to be safe, 200 bucks for the lumber, which is not that much. And I got the tires, so kind of lucked out on this. So including the price, I'll have about $300 into it to get it roadworthy. Plus what I paid is really a steal. So drop a comment, let me know how much you think I paid for it and what you think it's worth, how much you would pay for it as it is. It's got some surface rust, but there's nothing structurally wrong. I think the lights won't even work. They just look kind of cruddy, and it's always something with old wiring harnesses. You know, you'll have some vine that grows up in it, and then you go down the road and it pulls the vine. It was tangled in the wire, so all that annoying stuff. But today's mission, get some new tires on it and get it cleaned up. Actually, not even sure how this trailer got hooked up to the Tacoma, or when. When I hooked up to it and started pulling forward in the green Silverado with a V8, it started, the back tires spun a little bit. So then I went backwards, spun again, went forward, spun again. But then I finally put it in 4 low, and I didn't even have to give it any gas, just let off the brake and it pulled it right out. But I was pretty impressed. This thing's got a little bit of weight to it for it to make that truck spin. And it was just sitting in a field, basically. I was pretty impressed, or surprised, or disappointed, one. Now let's have a rut, we can pull it with anything. I knew this was going too easy, guys. Upon further investigation, the hub is huge on that trailer axle. So you see somebody took a torch and they cut out some. So that's what we're gonna have to do to these wheels, is just cut out basically to the lugs. No biggie, but we'll get it done. All right, guys, I took 4 cuts, cut a square with a angle grinder, and basically just the corners are kind of held together. I'm gonna hit it with an 8-pounder, see if it'll break out. If not, we'll have to take and make some like triangle cuts. I think it might break out. There we go. All right, guys, that square hole worked perfect. And someone's gonna say, that's not hub centric anymore. But if you look right here, and you're right, it isn't. But if you look right here, it's tight against the main bore of the hub. So if you did have, if your, how do I word this? If your lugs were to break or were to flex a little bit, your wheel would, the rim would actually sit down onto the strong part of the axle. So basically is hub centric. Another thing, I wouldn't do this, but if them rims ever went back on a pickup truck, your center caps would cover that, but I probably still wouldn't do that because you did lose somewhat of a structure. Because if you put it back on the Silverado, you're gonna have that big gap there, and if anything flexes or if it breaks, you have no hub centric to back it up. Another square hole cut out, works perfect. If she fits, she sits. I have 2 more of these tires just like that, brand new. I'm on the same rims. They came on my work truck when I bought it. The tires when I bought the truck were 3 months old. So they have I think 2,500 miles on them. But these tires, they look old, but they still hold air. So we're gonna leave those on there for now. I really just don't feel like cutting the other 2 wheels right now. Alright guys, this is what I've ripped off with my bare hands. It was pretty rotten. So anyway, now I'm gonna go grab some pry bars and see what we can get out. There's only bolts, there's 2 in each board, the front, 2 in each board in the back, and then every couple, there's 1 bolt per board. So we may can reuse those bolts, might get new ones, we'll see what happens. Here's what we're looking like. Got all the wood off. Most of it I pulled off by hand, then I used this little like 3 or 4 foot pry bar, got the rest off. I left 2 boards on just because I want to get the bolts out. Neither one of them, that one's only rot a little bit at the end, the other one's not rotting all the way, so I need to unbolt it to get it off. It's not just gonna pry off. So that's what we're looking like. This frame is built tough. But that right there, that's a like 8-inch C-channel, and I think this is like 3 or 4-inch C-channel. And then in the center here, we got like straight up, like we got I-beam. So this thing is built pretty tough. All these bolts right here, I'm not gonna reuse none of those. I'm about to take an angle grinder and cut them all off. I don't want to deal with a bunch of rusty nuts. That'd take forever. So I'm gonna just cut them off the angle grinder. And then I'm going to figure out how I want to fix the new boards down. I see there's multiple different holes and stuff. So I'm gonna just decide what I'm gonna do. Here's what we ended off with today. All the wood's off except for the 2 ones on the side. I'm leaving them on there so I can line the other ones up right. And I'm probably gonna wait till the other ones are on to pry them off, so I have something to get leverage. I removed the lights and the wiring, and then also the middle axle, the one that's under the I-beam, has trailer brakes. So maybe we might one day wire them back up, see if they work. Alright guys, just got back from the store, went and picked up the boards. I needed 9, they only had 8, so we're gonna leave that one. It's the least rotten on until they have another one. Also, they didn't have treated lumber, so I got some yellow pine. And if you can see, they're all even on that end. Some of them was 22 foot or 21 foot and a half, and I don't even know what. As long as it ain't too short, it's fine. I have some deck stain I'll put on it, and it should be better than treated. All right, guys, got all the boards on besides the one that didn't have. A couple of them I had to cut down because they were longer, but fit on here good. I got some self-tapping screws. I took and ran a pilot drill bit through there, and then the big self-tapping screws, so should last. All right guys, Amazon just came. I bought 3 of these pins because I found a bunch of receivers for dirt cheap. I might show you that before this video's over. This is the new lights I got. Just some typical trailer lights. And I bought a different wiring kit, didn't know if this would be long enough. And then I got some side markers for them mount up to the front. We got some lights on the trailer. Some nice LED, pretty bright. Side markers. Everything looks good. We need to button up, so I need to get back under there and zip tie or just make sure that the wires aren't hanging or anything. Guys, load up the Tacoma. I want to test, and you can look on there. There's plenty of room. We got like 4 foot on the back where the tires aren't at, and then we got like several foot in the front. And the truck, it's tilted, but we're also on a hill, but there's very little tongue weight. I can actually lift the trailer up some. So it's not that much tongue weight. That's exactly what I was wanting. And again, you could put something way bigger on here because you got so much more room. It's kind of just straddling the 3 axles. All right, guys, that's a trailer we got, but it also came with this boat. It was free. It's in decent condition. It's about the perfect setup I want. I've got a bunch of boats, and I've had a bunch of boats. They were all very cheap or free and needed everything basically. And I'm not really a boat person. Haven't messed with a whole lot of them, so I don't have parts and stuff to fix it. So I really just want to just buy something that doesn't need anything. And this would be the perfect setup. I just don't even want to do nothing to it. It's got a 65 Johnson on it. It's supposed to run. And it's I think it's a 15 foot. Should say somewhere like around there on that plate. It's an Ashcraft boat. I don't know nothing about those. Has a nice fuel cell and then a plastic tank. And again, like a center console up front. That's sick. And a seating for that's sick. I love that. It's perfect little boat. It's just big enough. It's got 2 live wheels, and it's just big enough to where it doesn't feel small, but it's small enough to where it would be fast. This would be, again, like I said, like if I could buy something like this in nice shape, 2 live wheels, or another one on that side, and it's wide. I mean, this thing would be great. It'd be a perfect boat for the river, to fish in or to cruise. I'm more worried about the 65 Johnson right here. All right, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up. This was the budget trailer build. The last thing I bought, these were like a little less than $100, was 4 car tie downs. That's the last thing we needed, and that really doesn't involve the trailer, but I might include it. So this is what we got. Still gotta replace that one board whenever they get one. And I do have 2 more tires, brand new tires like this right here, to go on this trailer. I'm sure I'll need it soon. I just didn't want to cut the other 2 hubs yet. So, and one of them's a spare for my truck, so I'm hanging on. But yeah, the only other thing this trailer could use would be some good hinges, or some good places to strap to, because right now it has nothing. Luckily it's built out of C-frame though, or C-channel, so you can pretty much strap anywhere. But yeah, I would like to go maybe sometime get added on like the normal, like a steel deck or a normal car hauler has, where it has the bars off the side where it has hooks. I'd like to just weld that on here. It'd be perfect flat side to do so. All right, guys, I'll put the total price I have invested on the screen now. Let me know what you guys think. Also, we need to get a different winch. I think I looked up online, you can buy that exact winch for like $500, a 13,500 pound. So I think I'm gonna buy another one instead of fooling with that one. I hooked a battery to it, started winching. It does free spool, and then it started to catch on fire. So we're gonna take that off and buy another one. But let me know what you guys think. If you think it's a good deal, how much you think it's worth as it is. Make sure to drop a comment, drop a like, and if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. Couldn't end the video before we used the trailer. Got the Tacoma on there, took it to the gas station to fill it up with gas. Trying to get some, I'm about ran all the old fuel out. Now I got some new fuel, and I put Seafoam and Marble Mystery Oil in it. See if we get it running right. All right, guys, couldn't get this video out. I went and got another trailer today. I paid more for this one than I did that one, but still a good deal. It's in decent shape. One thing wrong with it would be that 2 of the tires weren't in good condition. I was pulling it over an hour and a half. So I just took the 2 front tires off. One of them is like blowed apart, and the other one just looked very dry rotted. So 4 tires, and this thing will be ready to go. Yeah, it looks a little bit ugly, but I'm not really worried about that. I'm pretty sure it's 6.5 by 15 or 16. It's also got a cool little thing right here, a hookup to pull another trailer behind it. I don't know if I'll ever use that, but that is kind of neat.